Okay, thank you for joining. Today I just want to take a very quick look at Bitcoin, ETH, and a few altcoins which I am currently in a trade. When taking a quick look at Bitcoin, the CME chart to be a little bit more specific, before we had this sell-off, there's a little gap that opened up. And like always, Bitcoin tends to want to go ahead and fill that gap, right? Filled it here, filled it here. Let's see if there's another one. This one is not filled yet, and that's exactly where I think price is going to try to go to next. But the gaps seem to always get filled, right? So with that being said, before my last live stream, we were trading somewhere down here, and I said, what I am most likely thinking price is going to do is come up, fill this gap, before then coming back down and testing these lows right around here. And testing these lows will also fill this gap. If you bounce off this trend line, you're still in an overall bullish structure, right? It's still technically higher highs, right? If we were to just go into a bigger time frame here, it's still technically a higher high. Obviously it's lower than these lows, but this whole move, in my opinion, this whole section is almost like its own little high in a way, right? So if we can tap this level, still stay on this uptrend, and continue to create a higher high, we might go back up and test 50,000 finally, which is a very important level. Let me go ahead and look at the Bybit chart here. So on the Bybit chart, as you can see, there is a very big levels right above, right? We have the weekly level here, golden pocket, value area high, and I believe it's gonna go ahead and try to attempt to reach this level here on 50,000, tap the weekly, and then possibly that's when we get a little rejection, right? But to go back to the CME gap, I'm really expecting price to just continue moving lower, take this gap, fill this gap, and we should get a nice bounce. If we fail this level here, the next key level for me would be right around here, around around like this 32,000. There's a lot of liquidity that was built up with all these lows, right? So higher low, higher low, higher low. So people are just placing their stops all the way up, and once one gets triggered, it could lead to a chain reaction. It's kind of like what happened here. Stops were just piling up. This got triggered all the way down, and then it found support at this trend line here. So if we lose this level, I would expect price to just continue going down, hitting these stops, and then possibly sweeping this level, tapping this support, and then continuing back up. So there's not too much to really talk about with Bitcoin, to be honest. In my opinion, that's the main scenario right now. That's just exactly what I think is going to happen. That doesn't mean it's gonna happen, but I think it definitely can happen, right? Let's see here. Now, what you can do as well is, if you just want to go ahead and draw a quick little trend line, because that is a high, you can see how price is technically respecting it, right? So even if I was to just adjust this slightly, to be honest, it looks like it actually respected it even better, the way how I had it before when I drew it off the 4 hour, right? Then you go ahead, click the 1 hour, and then you can just zoom in and see how price just kept on tapping the trend line and just got rejected off of it again. So we would definitely need to break this trend line just to get some sort of a bullish reaction. It's coming to this point of intersection right here. So something's going to happen very soon. Either Bitcoin is going to lose this level and continue down, like I was saying before, or it's going to find a little bit of support, break through this, and then push up and continue a little bit higher. But since the gap is that close, I really do think Bitcoin will continue down a little bit lower to at least fill that gap before moving a little bit higher. Now, if price action for Bitcoin does anything like what it did in the previous, like around the same time, right? You would kind of be expecting something like this, right? So you can see January into mid-February, price rallied up, and then it had a nice little pullback. And obviously we have the COVID crash, which happened right here, but it's kind of around the same time too, right? So if we think right now, it's what, look here, it's around here, January 17th. Look at that, high comes in, we're pulling back, could get one more push up before coming down a little bit, and it seems like Bitcoin is kind of resembling that same pattern, right? So there's the pullback a little bit, but price could continue up, tap that 50,000, maybe move a little bit higher before pulling back one more time before the halving, and then slowly grinding up and then blasting through these highs, right? Very similar pattern could definitely play out. It's almost like you're thinking about wait, it's almost like this section here, but I would think it's more like this. So anyway, so on the lower time frames, there's really just not much going on. We just have to see if Bitcoin moves down a little bit lower, sweeps these lows. In the meanwhile, a lot of these alts were pumping, but since Bitcoin had this sell-off recently, they did just come down a little bit. So let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum. Once again, came up and tapped the point of control. I think Ethereum does look pretty bearish from where it's at right now. Sorry about that, but yeah, I think Ethereum is looking more bearish than bullish than based on where it is right now, right? So point of control, failed it, back tested it as resistance, tried to go above it again, did go above it, but then it failed it one more time. And to be honest, this is now looking like a solid swing failure pattern that's happening right at this level here. You know, you could go ahead and place a short. Oh, not sure what just happened there, but yeah, you could go ahead and place a short. Stop loss above that wick high. It's about 1.8% away, and then target here first, 7% down. But in reality, you do want to target the value area, the next value area, which is about this value area high. But to be honest, just to be a little bit safe, this golden pocket seems to be a nice area to take most of your profits. So that is a short I'm definitely interested in. Maybe I'll take it, maybe not. But it's not a bad idea. That's a very solid trade setup, point of control, swing failure pattern, and golden pocket resistance, right? So there's three confluences happening. And as a matter of fact, you know what? Right now I'm going to go ahead and enter that short. What I don't like is that price did move down a little bit, right? Like I'd rather enter it right up here because you already see. That's why, you know, I might just actually wait, because what happens is you already missed a 1% move, and that's all a lot of traders need to exit their position. You're coming very close to this support zone too as well. So this support hanging out right around here. As you can see, price already bounced off there once. So you could enter the short hoping that price does come down a little bit more here, because if price does fail this level, it'll back test this and more than likely move lower, similarly to what we've seen here, right? Came down, back tested it, and moved down lower. So that could happen, but in my opinion, I would actually rather wait and see if we can get another retest of this level. Well, I don't like it because it pretty much already did it, right? Failed it, back tested, and now it's moving lower. So you have ETH moving lower, Bitcoin looking like it's aiming lower, at least aiming to this trend line, which is right here. Yeah, it's not a terrible entry on ETH. It's just I really would rather get the highs up here. That's the only trade I would be interested in, unless we get another push up, sweep these highs, tap this trend line, this ascending trend line again, before then moving lower, right? Like a move up to here would be nice. Sweep this, back test it, and aim to this point of control. So those are really the two main trade setups that I'm interested in. Like I said, short from here, target here, or wait for price to come up and enter a better short, targeting lower. And if you were to get in at these levels, now you're talking 17%. All right, so that's pretty much it with ETH. Nothing too complicated. Nothing too complicated at all. So let's go ahead and check out some other coins. I am still in my TRX short. I took the short from up here. I believe I am 10% in, yep, around 10%. I think I got it a little bit higher actually, yeah. So the reason I'm still holding on to this trade is because now it is in the value area high. It's right around it. It's trading right at that level. It is also trading within this massive parallel channel. So once I saw it fail this parallel channel, I had a feeling that it would at least come back to test the value area high, which it did. Now if this level fails, then the point of control is definitely what's next, right? So that would essentially provide now about 12% gains. So I'm just going to keep this short open. I already took profits right around here, and I left the rest to ride. Another trade that I am currently in was GTO. If you looked at my Twitter, you would have seen that I posted about this about a day ago. Check out my GTO analysis on TradingView, right? Go ahead and click that. Go right to my TradingView. And there you go. I'm more bullish than bearish on GTO. And then you're going to see exactly what it did. And you'll see exactly why I am proud of this trade. It was a very nice trade setup. This is just a very bullish pattern, the falling wedge. I mean, if you see this almost anywhere, it's a very solid trade to take, especially when it's coming into a very important level like this value area low. Swing failure pattern as well. So took the trade, and then this is what happened. Very nice. And I said it here. GTO is trading in a bullish pattern. The falling wedge is a higher probability of breaking to the upside. If we get a nice breakout to the upside, I would be looking to target the POC above around 290. If we fail this support, the next level below is around $2.10, right? Which is also a very good area to enter another long. But as as price did go up, it never got to 290. I am targeting this point of control, but it did hit this daily level. So I did take a lot of profits on that, as you can see. Who joined me on this trade? Yes, I did take profits, 10% gain. ENS, I did take this trade too as well. This was an interesting one. It's been having some very bullish price action lately. I like to call these like price action coins, right? So let's go ahead, it's right there. So I took the trade down here because it did touch the VWAP. I was going to enter closer to here, but I was a little skeptical based on this candle. And I waited a little bit, and I saw price was holding up, so I entered the trade here. As you can see, I think that's my exact entry, actually. Stop loss below the low. Saw price come up, took profit somewhere around here, still have some of the trade open. It's already came back in, so this is pretty bearish. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get stopped out, which I don't really care because I already took profits from it, so it is 100% risk-free trade. But yeah, this is a nice one as well. We're gonna see how this plays out. If these levels fail, then below we have a monthly and a weekly level, which I would expect then price to come down, maybe sweep these lows, you know, back tests, break through here, kind of do something like that before continuing a little bit higher. If not, and we fail those levels, then there's not much really to hold this coin up. There are some key support areas like around here, but if these all fail, you know, you're not really looking at any solid support until this point of control down here, which is also a very massive daily level. So could go ahead and mark that. Weekly level there, weekly down here. That's already been tapped. Monthly. Yeah, not really too many levels I'm interested in. Daily, it's once again not too many levels I'm interested in. Yes, I mean this one is just, unless it does something around here, sweeps this area. You know, this is basically swing failure pattern right here. Let's go ahead and mark that as FP. Zoom in. Price to come down here. Yes, sweep these levels. Sweep these lows, reclaim. Maybe break out a little bit. Yeah, so something more along those lines. All right, higher low, breaks through, comes down, retest, and then continues a little bit higher. So this is really the level I am interested in now. Anchored VWAP is right back active, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. Let's see what else. Is there another trade that I am in? I believe I am in a different trade too as well. DYDX. Yeah, that's the only other trade I am currently in is DYDX. It's been an interesting trade. It's just been ranging sideways for a while. I took the trade after it broke out of this descending trend line and back tested it. So I entered around here because it was a value area low of the range. Very important support resistance level as well. It back tested the trend line. So that's 1, 2, 3. And I think it also was a, where did I take the, I might have done it from here. Yeah, so from this pivot down here, pulled it up, golden pocket, and look at that, price is up. I already took profits on this too as well. I entered somewhere around here, took profits around here. So yeah, a little 8% gain. I don't believe I showed that one though. Let's see, did I show that? No, boom, 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 boom. Let's see what this one's doing. I forgot I even posted about Beam. Let's see how that price has reacted. Oh, that's in the Telegram. Okay. Yeah, join me in Telegram right here. Go to my Twitter at Navitility. Click on the Telegram right there. Join in where I post all the time. Subscribe to my YouTube. And also follow me on TradingView. I do post a lot of interesting stuff. This one was a really good call too as well. As you can see, price did a lot more than 6%. So that was a really nice call. Proud of that trade too as well. Actually, I don't think I took that trade. I really don't think I took that trade. But yeah, you know, I'm posting constantly, as you can see. So if you want to stay up to date, follow your boy. Right now I'm still in this DYDX trade. Took a little bit of profits as well. So if it does come back down to this level, I would be interested in relonging it, as long as the price reclaims the level and starts to show a more bullish market structure. Then I would enter and just aim for the trend line, or just re-aim for the point of control. Because there's a couple important trend lines here. So as you can see, this one comes straight down. It's going to be the first test. The next one is this one here on an angle. Is probably not as important, but I'm just going to keep it there just to see how price reacts. But that's pretty much it with all those coins that I am currently trading. I think Arbitrum has been, it's back at an interesting area. I don't really like it. It looks like it's tapped this level multiple times, and it's also looking like it may fail, but this is not a terrible place to enter along, because it is also swing failuring this low. I'll wait for the 1 hour close, and 1 hour closes in about 52 minutes. So you have a little while to go. But that's actually not a bad entry, seeing that it is at range lows. Even if it goes up to the point of control, how much percent is that? At least a 2% gain, which is not bad. Avalanche, I did have an eye on. I'm still very interested in it because it broke out of this massive downtrend. Had a nice little pump, and now it's trading right above the daily level and the value area low. So very interesting level here. If it comes down, sweeps this low right here. Let me see something. I didn't even extend this right, so let's go ahead and extend that. There we go. So yeah, if we could sweep this low right down here. See, look at that. Isn't that interesting? So I drew this and look what price did. So it might do exactly as I said. You can't make that up. But yeah, if this breaks out of here decisively, if it comes down here, that'd be great. I would really, really want to see this one more time before a final breakout. This way I can re-enter here and take the long. That's really what I'm looking at on Avalanche. Yes, and then obviously you could pull your fibs. I believe the 0.5 lines up with that level, or even the golden pocket. Look at that. Very nice. Blur had a very interesting move. Look at that, right at monthly level, and it's swing failuring the high. So this is a very, very interesting area to try to enter a short. 1 hour came down below, and now it's back testing this resistance, this support as resistance. So this could possibly continue back down, and to be honest, if this does come back down to these levels down here, that would be an amazing short. You're talking 40%. That's actually, might have to take this trade. Tap the monthly, tap the weekly, and it's now closing below the swing failure pattern high right here. Very interesting. Obviously here was like a little bit of a support area, so you might get a little bounce around here. If we go from the lows to the highs, let's go ahead and see where some of these levels line up. Doesn't really look as clean. None of these look that clean, to be honest. I don't really like any of these, but it's still something to keep an eye on. But it's an interesting short for sure, especially with Bitcoin looking a little bit bearish right now. Weekly levels are down here, so this would be an area to take profit. Let's look at the monthly really quick. Ooh, there's a monthly level even higher. So this is even a closer level to take profits. Let's look at the daily. Daily's right up here, which, you know, this is all resistance, right? And then price came down, tested it as support. And this just looks like a level that It's like almost like an unfinished level. Like it just wants to come down even lower, tap this, maybe touch the point of control before coming down lower. But yeah, this is a very interesting area to enter a trade, a short trade for sure. Maybe wait for this retest one more time. Actually, I'll do the hour. I know it's only one time, but I'll do the hour. All right, so that's another interesting one. So we have Blur, which is looking like a great short opportunity. What else do we have here? Link was looking pretty bullish. Very close to a swing failure pattern of the previous high. It's right at the value area high at the moment. It would be nice for it to just sweep these highs, come back down, and then give us a trade. A 6% trade to the point of control. Magic. Also, swing failure this high. Wow. Another project, which is at an interesting short area, but this is at support. It is at support, so you'd have to be very cautious. For me personally, with this one, I would rather see this level get lost and then back tested, then enter a short there and target this daily below. 4% away. Yeah, that's what I would look for. Possibly put a little alert there. Super is another interesting project to trade. Broke the trend line, tested the value area high. XRP has been extremely neutral. Yeah, it's not really doing much. I'm not really liking it at all. But the trend line obviously to keep an eye on is this one. If this breaks out, we're gonna get a nice reaction from XRP. We might even be able to, let's see here. Anyway, might be able to, yeah, look at that. That's exactly where I would think it would go, right? If you get like a little reaction, however this happens, comes up, takes these highs, comes down, and it moves a little bit lower, right? Or you never know, we can get a little impulse up, flips this as support, continues higher. Could possibly even take this high before coming back down, back testing this area before moving higher again. So a bunch of interesting trade ideas for XRP. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all I would like to go over today. It's going to be a very quick live stream. Hopefully you guys like it. Took some pointers. Don't forget, follow me on Twitter or X. Follow me on TradingView. And also join my Telegram. I post live updates all the time. All right, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great day. Thank you for joining. Leave a comment, hit a like, and I'll be back tomorrow.